to my channel. Hello, my name is Jess and I am a LARPer. LARP stands for live action roleplay, which is essentially a game of make-believe that you can play with your friends and family, no matter your age. But instead of sitting around a table rolling die and telling everyone what you're doing, you are in a costume, in an actual setting, and you are expected to improv your way through whatever scenario the storyteller has thrown at you. And very recently I went to one of these LARP events, and this is what happened. So it's been a bit strange getting back into LARP after being away so long. I mean, the last 18 months have pretty much been chaos. So yeah, this has been a long time coming. I finally got back to The Gathering. The Gathering is the biggest LARP event that is held annually by a LARP organisation called the Lorien Trust. They are a LARP company right here in the UK. They run 4 big events every year and lots of little ones sort of all over the place. And The Gathering is the largest one every year. So the event is set in the fictional world of Erdreja, which is essentially a planet-sized dragon egg floating through space that has all of those planet-type things like oceans and continents and all that jazz. To play, you join a faction, which is essentially the nations of Erdreja, which are all named after different animals, just to make things really easy to identify when you're standing out in the middle of a battlefield. And your job in this game is essentially to try and survive while the game runners throw great, crazy, world-ending events at you. It's pretty straightforward. It's not that complicated. It's one of those LARPs that I would personally recommend to people who have never been before, and that's because it's one of those big events where there's lots of people, lots of things going on, and you can get involved as much or as little as you want. If you want to dive in, get plot heavy, you know, save the world, you can get in there from your very first event. There is nothing holding you back. Or if you're a little bit shyer, you can hang back, you can hang out in your camp for a little bit, you can go down to the bar and have a drink with your mates. It's not a requirement that you stand there and get involved if you're not quite sure. This is your game and you get to decide how you have fun. How I personally have fun, I run the Rangers Guild, which is one of the guilds of Erdreja. The guilds are essentially where you go to get training in Erdreja. They teach you lots of new skills, you get to meet lots of different people down there, and they have plot too, which means you're going to get stuck into something that your faction may not be involved in. And don't think that that means you're going to be able to avoid a fight. There are plenty of horrible creatures coming down to those guilds trying to kill us all, and making my life tricky. This is a survival game, isn't it? It's painted as a fantasy game, but it's more of a let's try not to die this time event. Huh. Anyway, like I said, don't think you're going to avoid fighting down at the guild, because that's how you end up dead. Several of my friend's characters died at this wonderful event, including my friend John's character, Pack, who I had to organise the wake for. Oh, the deaths were heartbreaking, but the roleplay was amazing. I had to go down to a faction and inform them that my friend was dead. We had to go out there in the pitch black with a battle going on, praying that we weren't going to all get stabbed in the back on our way down there. And then we had to go back because they wanted to have the funeral in the middle of the battle. How we avoided getting attacked is still beyond me. I was hobbling around on a walking stick. I still can't walk very well after my recent illness. I was essentially a walking target. I couldn't have run from that if I tried. I was hobbling. It was... How did I survive that? Seriously. Now looking back at it, it's rather obvious that a lot of the good roleplay in most LARPs is angst. I'm trying to work out what that says about LARPers. Yeah, it's a good part. For me, the other part is the battle. Larp fighting is essentially pretty much one of the staples of the gathering. Other than the smaller battles, which are generally held over the course of the event, every Sunday at the gathering there is always the big gathering battle, which is held up on one of the big hills of the site. It is a PvP battle, so essentially you get as many people from as many factions up on there as possible. Sides are decided ahead of time and everybody just dukes it out. I do not have footage of this because, as I said, it is held up on a giant hill and me and my walking stick couldn't have made that if I tried. Next year though. Next year I'm definitely going to get it. But as you can see, I did get some shots of other battles, which are always absolutely great. I didn't get down to many factions over the course of the event, which I am really gutted about because the factions always do these beautiful set dressings where they dress up all of their tents and the campsites with hessian and paint and big flags and, you know, all of that. And I just didn't get down there because it was a long walk. But it's one of my favourite parts of it, it's just seeing people do up their tents. People like to decorate their tents on the inside as well to make them look more in character. That's always really cool. And some people go all out and spend way too much money on this under a very short space of time. If you think I'm referring to you, I am. I absolutely am. You know who you are. But I guess I can't really blame them because it does make everything look really cool, really in character, and just generally very interesting and really helps that immersion. So I guess I can't be too judgmental when I enjoy it so much. I personally don't camp in a faction at the moment, and I don't camp in an in-character area, which means my tent doesn't really need dressing up at the moment. But I really want to. So in the future when I'm no longer volunteering, then I'll start, you know, really getting into it. And you'll see what my terrible decor skills look like. One highlight for me for this event was the Bards Guild competition, which I don't get down to every year for various reasons, either running plot, trying not to kill people, trying to kill people, or generally trying not to die. But this year I got to go down and it was awesome. I couldn't stay for the whole thing, I had to get back down to the guilds, but for everybody who performed, you are all so talented and so brave and so amazing. I wish I had half of your talent and courage. You were absolutely brilliant. I can't speak how much I loved watching you all perform. It was great just seeing so much variety, so many cool different skills, people who could sing beautifully, people who could play instruments, people who could dance. You were all fantastic. And I can do none of those things. So, you know, more power to you. But for me, the one most awesome thing that I got to do at the gathering was I got to meet some of you, which was so lovely. I wasn't expecting to meet anyone really, but you were all so nice and you were all so sweet, and it really made my weekend. And I really hope I get to meet you guys again next year, and hopefully more of you as well. I definitely cannot wait to get back to Erdreja and continue the adventures that I have been going on. I will be back there in the spring. I hope to see so many other people there as well, including you lot, if you can. Let's go on that adventure together. So thank you for watching. See you on that battlefield soon.